A very warm welcome back to the PGL Major Offline Qualifier, the final qualifier before we head to Krakow for the PGL Krakow Major 2017. 8 legends already waiting there, of course, to find out which of the 8 teams from this qualifier make it through. Penta just made a very big step towards qualification by winning their second game. We're going to move into the low seeds now, the teams that lost yesterday. Our next 2 teams up are Optic and Vega Squadron. We'll start with Optic, and our panel members, Natu's rejoined us as well. Good morning, Natu. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. I had a fun time watching that game earlier. Yeah,
I saw a couple of tweets. One in particular went to Anders from a Liquid fan that said, yeah, I stayed up all night to watch this game. Kind of felt bad for him. Rough.
I wish I'd slept in.
Yeah. You do. You've got a chance for North America to redeem themselves in this second game. But this is a tricky match for Optic as well.
Doesn't feel likely, does it?
Well, I don't know.
There's no redeeming.
Four-game losing streak. But
there were some green shoots yesterday from Optic as well.
Yeah, listen, there's still a lot of skill in this team, and yes, they've lost Stanislaw, and yes, they've really struggled since that. That's always going to be the story until they kind of figure things out. Big news, they just signed on I'm a Pet as a coach. I don't think he's here. He could be. I haven't seen him.
I don't think
but
so,
he came from CLG. He's a player. He's a coach that CLG players really credited with a lot of their rise back to being contenders in the North American region, which is kind of cool to see. So obviously he's in the same Peacemaker situation, not going to have a whole lot of impact with this short a time. But listen, despite losing Stanislaw and all the struggles that have come along with it, these players don't just like magically forget how to play the game.
No.
They still have Mixwell, who's been dominant in the North American region in stretches. They still have Rush, he's been pretty poor these past 3 months, but he's been dominant in the past as well. They have Tarek, who's a very dynamic playmaker. They have a lot of tools that can be very good. Naf's a very stable player, so they have a lot of good things going for them still.
Yeah, gotta somehow put it all together though, Natu. That's the key, isn't it?
Yeah, it is a tough part. We've seen it time and time again how you have the ingredients, but putting those together is kind of where the problem lies a lot of the time. You can have the best players in the world, and they won't necessarily be the best team in the world because it's just how things play out. It's all about the chemistry. It's all about just putting plenty of pieces into one puzzle and make it work. Counter-Strike is about so many things that are, sometimes doesn't even make sense, to be honest with you. It's about feelings. It's about emotion. All kinds of things. I'm not even kidding. That's the sad part. I'm not even
cute.
I just love the fact that the Finn on the panel has brought this stuff up.
Feelings and emotions.
Right? Amazing. Obviously, we're going to show you the team lineup as we go through it. They do have firepower, Jason. You've mentioned that. But why are they not delivering on that? Because we've mentioned, okay, they don't gel as a team quite well yet, Stanislaw, all that kind of stuff. We know that. But even when that happens, surely someone needs to step up.
Yeah, you'd think so. But they also have someone like Tarek has been inconsistent in the past, and the thing that seemed to make him consistent was when he joined this team, was when he finally found that consistency. And it does come down to Stanislaw, not him specifically, but it just comes down to that voice that says go, right? That gives you this is what we're doing right now. Yeah, and the cool thing about them is when they at the end of last year when they were actually competing internationally and for titles, the one thing that marked them in my eyes was when they took a bomb site. It was just everyone swarmed, and it was like so suffocating to defenses. It was so hard to hold it off because they literally had 3-4 players all going different angles into a bomb site at the same exact time, trading kills. They were so efficient at it, and now they don't have that voice. And Hayes, as an in-game leader, from his time in CLG, liked to be a little bit more reserved and passive and defaulty. He didn't have that style, or CLG didn't have that style when he was calling for them either, which is just take the bomb site, just get it done. So these guys don't kind of have that that killer instinct, I guess, is the best way to put it, as a collective unit to just take things over.
I've said it in the past that you don't have to have the best tactician in the world. As long as everyone commits to the cause and takes everything you say 110% and just commits to it, then things can work out.
Yeah,
it's very simple.
Okay, one of the players that Jason's already mentioned is Rush. We're looking forward to seeing the best of him over the next 4 days. But before we get into Vega Squadron, their opponents, of course, in this second match of the day, why don't we hear from Rush on his expectations as they headed in to the offline qualifier?
My name is Will Rush Wiersba. I play for Optic Gaming. I don't fully blame Justin R for leaving the team. He didn't feel a part of the team. He thought it was short term. That's his choice. We wanted to bring him to the major qualifier, to the major, to ESL Cologne, to all these events, because we had faith in him. He was growing as a leader, but ultimately he made this choice himself, so I don't blame him for it at all. I'm really happy with Hayes as a coach. He did a lot of work for us. He still does, even as an IGL, but him transitioning from a coach to a player was pretty easy for him, because he was obviously like he was doing tactician stuff as a coach, and since he went into an IGL role, he obviously already knew the strategies. He knew what he wanted, how he wants the game to be played, and now he can do it in game instead of just during pauses. So I think it's a good transition for him, and he brings pretty good vibes to the team too. So for our team, we actually have like a lot of like freedom to do what you want, but for the most part, Hayes will have like an idea in mind, and he'll say like, you guys go do your thing, and then at the round or mid round, I'll take over. So we have a lot of freedom. I think overall the NA scene is looking pretty good. I'd say like obviously SK and Immortals are great teams. They're great to practice against. In terms of North America, Cloud9 obviously made semis in ECS. They look great. Liquid made quarterfinals. They almost beat Astralis, I think. It was pretty close. So I think it's looking pretty good. I hope that we have a good showing here, that we make it out of the major qualifier, because we haven't been looking we've been looking pretty lackluster lately, but I think that we still have the firepower that we've always had. So going into this tournament, our preparation was pretty good, I thought. We didn't necessarily boot camp in Europe or anything like that, which would have helped tremendously, I think. But we did put a lot of time in NA. We woke up early. We played most of the day, and we focused on our own game. We didn't focus too much on our opponent's game. Like for example, play Penta. We didn't look too much into them. It's not like we don't underestimate them, but we were more focused on growing ourselves in our map pool, because with James we kind of have to fix the holes that Jason R left, because like obviously even though James knows how we play, it's a lot different when he's in game and Jason R's not. So we focus on our own game. I think Swiss format definitely benefits us, and it benefits underdog teams. I'm not saying we're like an underdog here, but we are like one of like the middle pack teams. We're not a favored team for sure. So I'd say that Swiss definitely benefits us, and it always has. Like I think that BO1s favor the underdogs. I think the most favorite teams here would be obviously G2. I'd say Mousesports is pretty good. They're looking really good in practice. We played against them a few times. Mortals is really good, and both Cloud9 and Liquid, I think all those teams will make it through pretty easily.
I won't be going to rush for any lottery numbers for this weekend, that's for sure. Obviously recorded before they came along to the offline qualifier. Yeah, a little bit offline.
Ironic.
Bit unfortunate timing for Rush there on the video. So, yeah, I mean, he mentioned same sort of things as you guys already mentioned. They have the firepower, they have the ability, they just need to put it together. Let's move on to the Shark Boys, the Blue and Whites of Vega Squadron. Interesting match, the way that it panned out yesterday.
Yeah. Potentially
could have won it, I suppose, if you want to be gracious to them, but they looked okay. They didn't. I mean, the first half was fantastic. That 10-5 first half that they had, you would like, whoa, okay, well, where did this come from? But then it fell apart in the second half, so they can't let that happen again today.
Yeah, let's focus on the positives first, because we like to be positive around here, right? The first half...
We try in the face of adversity, or again, Moses as he's sometimes called.
Yeah, sometimes I just can't help it.
Considering the situation, yeah. But yeah, I mean, first half definitely was great. They were taking initiative, very aggressive. HR was having a lot of trouble trying to adjust and slow down their game, the way they were approaching their T side. So that's something for Optic to be looking out for as well. It's going to be a challenge for them to be able to adjust the way they approach their plays as well. Whether it's going to be playing slower defaults or just go for straight out bomb side hits, or what's it going to be for them to be able to sustain the aggressiveness. But on the other hand, like we said, Vega on the T side again, a lack of cohesion, I think, was the massive issue. They were so far apart from one another when they were hitting bomb sites, and having the bomb guys still in T-spawn when they already had taken over the bomb site, smokes would disappear before they got anywhere near to planting the bomb, therefore giving their opposition a great chance into taking over the bomb site before even planting the bomb. So just a lot of like little details that they need to be putting effort into, make sure that they eliminate those issues, and they should be looking pretty okay against a team like Optic, where we don't really know where they stand right now.
Yeah, maybe a little bit disjointed. Maybe they can take advantage of that. If there was a highlight yesterday as well in that first half, it was JR with the AWP.
Yeah, he was great with the AWP, and I mean he got started pretty quick, and even I think in the post game interview it was mentioned that even Hutchie, when they went to a double AWP setup, he was pretty solid as well. That caught him off guard. So I mean, there's at least a little bit of a benefit there that Vega has that to switch into if they need it. We didn't really see a whole lot out of Mir, who we've talked about was kind of like the guy that you'd look to on this team to be that star player. But the nice thing for them is, I mean, they looked good when they were able to take the initiative on the CT side, when they were feeling aggressive and they were really like kind of in the zone in that sense and being the ones to make the plays. And then the nice thing is when you go over to the T side, they looked extremely disjointed yesterday, but Optic likewise looked pretty disjointed at times on their own CT side on train at least. So, I mean, there's something there at least that, you know, both teams are kind of struggling on those opposite sides of the map that you can see. I mean, at times it's going to be ugly, certainly, to watch, but if you're a team playing in this, if you're Vega Squadron, you're not feeling the most cohesion on your offense, you're going to be thankful that Optic's defense was looking pretty lackluster as well.
Casual fans will look at this and just go, oh, well, that should be an easy win for Optic. Not quite that straightforward, obviously.
No, it absolutely isn't.
Would you even have Vega as fairly on par right now with the way that we saw them play yesterday? Or would you still see this as Optic as favourites?
I think Optics are still favourites. I don't think it's like any kind of like massive insurmountable one, obviously. Especially because we saw yesterday that Vega has the skill to stay in these games, and I mean at least the talent, the ability to hang around, like not get blown out of the water. And if you're not doing that, you're going to give yourself a chance. You know, a lucky reset of the economy at the right moment can like just slingshot you forward. So they have the talent to go toe to toe with the Optic guys, especially when you consider some of the struggles that they're going through as a team.
Okay, we've got the manager of Vega Squadron, Alex, right now, who's in the player area. He's alongside Pala.
That's right, Paul. I'm here with LK, otherwise known as Alex. How's it going?
Fine. We just reset after the yesterday because it was a tough game. Like we got 0 rounds SC, but the game was still close, even though 0 is not enough to win the game as T side.
So today it's a very different kettle of fish. You're going up against Optic, whereas yesterday you were playing Hellraisers, who are arguably a more comfortable opponent, or at least an opponent you might know better. What's the difference today for you guys going up against Optic?
Well, I won't say as for us the Hellraisers is a more comfortable opponent for us. I would say it's the least comfortable opponent for us from all the 16 teams participating here. As for Optic, we're just looking forward to the game. Gonna be fun. Yeah. We just wanted to get full reset after yesterday and just play game by game, step by step.
Have you managed to take a look at what happened in their game yesterday, 16-14 falling to Penta?
Yeah, kinda. We came to the studios in the middle of the second half, so we took a look at some rounds, and yeah, we're just looking forward to play the train, and I think we're pretty confident in it. Let's see.
And overall at this event, how do you rate your chances? Some people say you guys are an underdog team, but I think you do definitely have some potential. There are many hard hitters on your team, for example.
Yeah, as for our team, we never make any predictions on our games and stuff. We just want to do good in every game, show some decent results overall. But every game matters, so it's step by step, as I said. So it doesn't matter where we finish. We want to do good in every game, and then let's see how it finishes.
All right, final thing then before we head back to the studio. You as a manager, what is your role when these guys are in-game? Are you just overseeing things, making sure that they keep their heads in the game?
No, I'm just trying to cheer them up and shout my loudest. That's it.
Awesome, cheering for the boys. We'll see you in a bit, Alex. Best of luck in that matchup, and you can head back to your team. All right, Paul, that will be it from me. Take it away.
Thank you very much. Alex there, the manager from Vega Squadron from the School of Jason Lake Coaching. Just stand behind them and shout a lot and run up and down, wear red ties.
Kick chairs.
Shout out to Mr. Lake. What? Kick chairs, absolutely. Did kick a chair, yeah. I also heard he smashed a screen once, but I don't believe that.
It was annoying to play on the next table. For
was it?
Complexity was
yeah.
very annoying.
6th man, baby.
I mean, shut that.
Yeah, and also bad for hotel owners as well, because he wore that carpet out. Trust me, there was a trench down there behind those players. Anyway.
And no one knows what we're talking about.
Quite. Only the old school boys. When it comes to the veto, which we're going to see in a moment,
I mean, for Vega, we've established so far, if you think back, Cash obviously was a map they beat NIP on. Obviously, it's been in quite a while ago. And then Mirage is a map they're capable of playing. Train is a map these teams both like playing. So it's fun to see, because I can't see that far.
Okay. So I can let you know. So it's going to be Train. The interesting thing, of course, so Vega's standard ban is Cobble. So they've gotten rid of that, which is a bit weird anyway, because Optic, Cobble.
Yeah, well, it's just
okay.
interesting because some of the maps that each team are good on are just maps the other team doesn't play. So they just have
so
one of
it's a
those
bit
map
weird,
pools
isn't
where
it?
you're just naturally going to ban your other team's good map.
Yeah.
So
but train is good for Optic, though.
Yeah, they're going to be happy with it.
Historically good.
Yeah. They're going to be very, very pleased with it because they like going to it. Obviously, yesterday they lost to Penta on it. We saw like the inner bomb site had was very, very susceptible. I mean, that could be something that Vega saw and is just leaning towards and saying,
but they can't play as badly again.
I mean,
in the second day, can they? On the same map, on the map that they are genuinely good on.
You'd be surprised.
My concern is that if it starts snowballing the wrong way from an Optic point of view, do they have what it takes to come back into it? Do they have the basics to reset?
But likewise, this is another map that lends itself to a CT snowball, right? And then you've got a team like Vega Squadron who were good yesterday on CT, but then awful on T. So the same could be said for them, right?
Yeah. I mean, all jokes aside, I mean, we saw Optic struggle like down what I think they were down like 7-1 or 8-1 or something at one point yesterday, and they were able to bounce back and have a pretty decent half. So I mean, they are going to show some resilience. I agree. I don't think the defense of that inner bomb site is going to be that poor again, and also I don't think Vega is going to be that efficient with their hits on the T side as Penta was. So a little bit of a sigh of relief there for the Optic side, especially considering the entirety of the T side on train especially has to be so much more coordinated than what we saw out of Vega yesterday on Mirage. So a little bit alleviated, and yeah, this is kind of a comfort map for Optic. Going back to it again, even though they lost yesterday, it's a map they've always liked, historically with this squad. So they're all going to feel pretty comfortable with it.
And Vega, I mean, they said they watched some of the Penta rounds. They're not going to do the whole let's go B every round until it stops working. They're not going to be able to get away with that today, are they?
You never know, do you? No. But I mean, there's a lot more to it. Like Jason was alluding to there, on the T side, you need to have the pacing needs to be correct. Something we didn't get to see a lot from them on Mirage, which is a map that lends itself to be more free roamy kind of a style where you can just go basically middle, work your way up, try to get some picks and make it a 5-on-3, and then you can just wolf back into the bomb site. But that doesn't really work on train. You need to have some actual real good set strats, good timings. So yeah, from that perspective, it might be a bit of a green prospect here for Vega.
Vega's going to need a huge CT side. They're going to need to get that double op rolling as soon as possible and just keep those oppers on a heater the whole game.
Yeah.
Do we know which side they start?
No.
We don't, actually. It's a good chance. Why don't we head over to our commentators to find that out right now? I never thought I'd find myself as the most optimistic person on a panel with an American about North American Counter-Strike. But here we are. Optic head into this one as favourites as they head up against Vega Squadron. Let's find out how they get on with your commentary team of Anders and Semler.
Thank you very much, Paul. And yes, indeed, we are ready here. It's going to be on train, Vega Squadron and Optic, and Moses just lost all hope, hasn't he? He's been defeated as a human being.
Well, I mean, when even like Paul is getting in on the gangbang, it's a bit of a tough life for Moses right now. And NA really aren't giving him too much hope, sadly. I mean, Optic right now, they're in the losers match, 0-1. Liquid, we just saw what happened to them in the first match of the day, and so that kind of leaves you hopeless, Anders.
Yeah, it's really, really rough. And this is another one of those games where, if you just look at sort of the weight of the brand, you think, well, Optic, we've seen them play, and we know Maxwell is good, and we know that Tarek has got skills, and like they've got stuff going on for them, right?
Yeah.
But again, Vega Squadron, probably fairly unknown quantity for Optic. In a best of one, we've just seen what can happen. Penta sweeping Liquid off the floor, right? I mean, it's really, really tough to play like this. And listen, they've got some players on Vega Squadron that I think are worth watching. Chopper is one of them. Like he can really go off. So if he has a similar approach, if he gets a good start like HS did with Penta, who knows what can happen? I'm interested. Optic just seem to lack confidence from me right now. They seem like a team that's completely lost.
Well, they went 30 rounds versus Penta yesterday, right? And so at least they got some rounds in, but still that wasn't a dominant win. It wasn't really one-sided for them. It was like a struggle through and through. And so coming into this, the confidence, they'll know that they can go the distance. Now they just need to figure out how to actually win the game. And they are on their home map, but big point that Moses was making is that he hopes that Vega get that strong CT side, that they're going to need a dominant one. Well, they are starting CT Vega. And so we'll see if they can get that double op in play. And there's the man you were talking about, Chopper, taking that peek towards upper halls.
Sensible decision to fall back, though. Don't want to re-peek into all those Glocks, really. There's no point And he's got to fall all the way back, so look at how far JR is pushed up. That's why they can have this kind of a setup, and Chopper's going to hit that long-range headshot to take down Mixwell. And Mir, he can't see a single thing. He's still going to get the kill on Rush. And now the flank comes in, a double flank as well. They are in a lot of trouble right now, Optic Gaming. Not quite done yet. Nafly's fighting back. Chopper hitting another headshot. Hutchie's gone down. JR coming in, and it's the final kill as well. He gets both of them. And that's Vega Squadron picking up the round. Just very well orchestrated. And that's going to be a comfortable start for them.
Sometimes you just get those headshots that just feel so goddamn brutal, Anders. Like that one right there for JR. It's like, get out!
Stop it. Yeah,
Three guys rotating quick that way, though. That was, I mean, what do you think? Because as far as I'm concerned, that was a textbook CT pistol reaction to like how, okay, you spot a bunch in upper halls, they all fall way back. They even have the 2 primed and Pop Dog to rotate very quickly to try and nip them in the bud. I mean, that was really solid from Vega on CT.
Yeah, listen, even if JR didn't get those 2 kills at the end, I would still have called him the man of the round for pushing Ivy like that. Because, you know, the amount of freedom they get to guess that it's going to be a B push, especially because Chopper saw them on the stairwell, right? You combine those 2 pieces of information and you can be quite sure it's probably going to be a B hit. So that's worth so much. And again, it's a best of 1. You have to make some risks to try and make it work.
Speaking of.
Yeah, what is this? They actually just forced them back up the ladder.
How dope is that, though? Hutchie just runs through his teammates' Molotov to go and get that kill. Frag hungry. I like it. Make that money. Got the UMP in play. And he gets another kill with it.
Yeah, Kashanda also picking up a couple of shots there. It's definitely worth it. Naf.
Oh, he's out of bullets. No, he's not. Never mind.
For a minute, maybe.
I heard that, like, the tink, tink, tink. So I was wondering, like, had he just sprayed that much? Because that P250 can get away from you.
It actually can, you're right. They will survive. A lot of UMPs, something that we don't see every day now. And you can maybe start to tell why, because Optic have picked up 4 or 5 AKs, in fact. AK versus UMP, it can work out in your favor, but it's not always 100%. I think Henry's actually started calling this the bonus round. Where I mean, you know, they could have tried to swap out Vega Squadron for M4s instead, but they just keep with the UMPs. I kind of that term sort of makes sense to me, actually.
Well, we gotta go back, you know, a little bit of the history lesson, right? Where G2, well, the French teams really were the real ones who were going like MP9 buys and holding on to them, and we would always criticize like, why are you taking this risk? And they always just said, you know, it's because you get kills with the MP9, you're making so much money, and then you just buy again in the next round. And so it's like, okay, fair enough, right? Now it just has become the standard. And if you're going to have UMPs, look at the aggressive positioning that they have here. Very close Pop Dog. UMP versus AK, it doesn't matter. You're just going to be able to mow them down with that UMP, no problem, if they decide to make the drop.
Yeah, definitely still a powerful SMG. Grenade landing right in Mixwell's face at the beginning of the round is so annoying, especially playing against the UMP. You know, now it doesn't need that many bullets to spray you down. I mean, even a little bit of damage is going to make a big difference in that kind of a game. It looks like another B execute here, and are they going to be ready for it? Mir is on the bomb site, ready and waiting. That was Mixwell, not Tarek getting that shot, but still a nice headshot coming in. Chopper will pick off Mixwell and goes for a second. That's the bomb down as well. Haji, long range, and Chopper just doing everything right on this bomb site, not exposing himself that much. Haji going to close out the round. 3-0 for Vega Squadron, and no bomb plan either for Optic Gaming. What a great way to get started.
And talking about that, right, you know, where it's the concern is the range of the UMP versus the AK, they put the M4 in like the one long-range fight position, where it's like, right, you'll have the M4. We saw that. The guy got insta-headshot. And so you're playing to your strengths here if you're Vega, and I'm really enjoying watching them so far. These first 3 rounds have been very clean on their part. Optic right now have got to be feeling just, well, a little liquid. You know, they need to be a little bit less fluid, perhaps, because we saw what happened with Liquid earlier. Yeah. Don't be like that.
Oh, it's absolutely terrifying.
I don't know where I was going with that one. I was trying to like shoehorn it in there, right, Crowbar, but
it's fine. I think it works for all purposes anyway. Hayes will get a kill. Going to be stopped by Mir, who still in play over by the E-box. Actually gets the headshot on Terry. That's not bad at all. A double kill for him. Mixwell trying to take him down. Chopper will be there to help him out. So 4-0. Do you know what Mir means?
Tell me.
It means peace in Russian.
Yeah?
Didn't know that.
I like that. This guy's got a sense of humor.
Yeah. It's interesting. An interesting name choice, I think, for someone playing professional Counter-Strike. 5th round is coming up, just like the space station, you know.
Exactly. That's what I was thinking. I was just like, oh, you're gonna. It's like something to do with space, but no.
No, I don't know. I mean, maybe the Russians, you know, just wanted to be peaceful all along. Didn't want to hack the elections and all the rest of it. Just trying to keep it cool. Send peace into space. It's a beautiful idea. We are heading into the 5th round, though, before we get too much off track. And this is a much more, should we say, normal round for Optic so far. Really relaxed, really calmed down. But again, the risk here for JR, if he gets this frag, it's going to be absolutely worth it. And Rush, very hesitant. He could be flashed in by a teammate. Hayes is down there behind him. They could pop flash it in, and the fact that they don't just cost Rush his life. Now instead, Shanda going to pick up a kill on Naf. A bit too over-aggressive, though. No real reason to go for that fight, but still a 4-on-3 here. Still every chance to win the round.
Still quite a bit of utility left on Optic, though. That's their one advantage, given the fact that Vega have used up all their nades, pretty much. Single Molotov left on Chopper. That's the high-value nade, and it's gone out just now. And so with 45 seconds left here on the clock, Optic, they have a little bit of room to maneuver with. They're going to find the headshot, though, because that's going to be the B hit, it looks like. They want Hayes to try and cause a bit of diversion over here towards Ali. And in the meantime, Tarek taking point. He's got his teammate Mixwell backing him as well.
Tarek, this is great individual play. They have to make something work. They're a man down, so just sneaking into the ramp like this, and Mixwell hitting a headshot on Chopper. This is a chance for Optic. It's not perfect, but as you said, there are no more grenades right now on Vega Squadron, so you really can make this work. Molotov goes out and actually does a fair bit of damage. Tarek missing the opportunity. That might cost him. They definitely know where he is, and they know where Mixwell is as well, so Vega Squadron, one kill here, and it's going to get a lot tougher. Mia goes down. Mixwell with a headshot on Hutchie, and JR going to have to fall back. He can't really do this any longer. Optic going to pick up the first round. That's a sigh of relief for sure on their part.
Mixwell, for me, is really standing out here on Optic. Tarek, okay, fair enough. He's missing those headshots at the beginning there. But Mixwell, and it was the last time they went into B as well, Mixwell was able to get the kill on the man holding the M4. And he's playing that second man role. So yeah, Tarek is supposed to throw himself in there, or Hayes, or whoever, you know, somebody's supposed to go in first. But Mixwell is the one who needs to hit those headshots following it, you know, make up for his teammate's sacrifice. And so far, he's been doing that. And so the first round on the board here for Optic Gaming, and I got to give it to Mixwell. Solid work from him. So 4-1. Vega, of course, they have the money with all those SMG kills. They have the money for a full buy here. And Optic as well, but this is where it gets a little grim for Optic. They really don't have much in the bank.
No, and actually neither do Vega Squadron. Like, both teams are fairly low on money, so this is one of those pivotal rounds where it definitely will help a lot if you can win this and just close out the opponent's economy. Make sure that you get a bit ahead. If you're Optic Gaming, it's a chance to get, you know, up to 3 rounds or something at this point in time. That would certainly help out a lot. Hayes trying for the blind spray through and actually ends up landing a few bullets on Mia there. That's not at all bad.
All right, see if they can get that punish. It's been an aggressive pop dog kind of hold coming in from Vega round after round, and so a little bit of the wall bang going through. But again, within the smoke radius, if Optic elected to go for an easy rinse and repeat kind of set execute onto A, Vega hoping to counter that in this round with that aggressive positioning up by E-Box and Pop Dog. But that's not going to be the case. Again, the Molotov into Pop Dog. I like it, and Hutchie gets caught in the open. Where is the trade? Gishander, time to step up. You're going to have to hit a shot when they actually try and make this push.
Oh man, he's completely isolated. He could actually get a double spray down. The flash is coming through. He's going to pick up one, but no, he won't. Tarek surviving on 7 health. It looked like he had all day to get that spray, so that's just a bit sloppy. And as you said, letting his teammate down a bit to begin with means he really had to step it up. Nice execute from Optic Gaming, though. The good flashbangs to follow it up. And then now 1-on-3. So it will be a second round for them here. There's not really much that Mia can do about it.
That's really tough. When you have the correct call as far as your positioning is concerned, where you are in relation to the smokes that Optic are putting out, the nades that Optic are putting out, you know, you have everything going your way in that sort of scenario, and you aren't able to capitalize. That's painful. And Mia right now, what is this?
I think he was hoping to just catch someone, but without the defuse kit, it doesn't really matter. And Naf will take him down. Optic Gaming suddenly right back into it. So a bit of a rough start, but you know, they're not getting liquidated right now. At least they are. At least they're bouncing back quick.
Liquefied?
Liquefied, yeah.
No. I mean, Oh. I'm kind of curious, exactly. It's not going to be the Force coming in from Vega. I was wondering, they had the money. JR had 49.50, 59.50, I think, actually.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there were some options here. But they decided to actually play it safe and go for a round of eco. And Hoochie, long range with the CZ, finds a headshot on Hayes.
That's not bad, but Mixwell with the AWP actually eventually is going to go down. And now they're weirdly all trapped in Pop Dog. I'm not really sure why. I mean, they should still have the advantage here, but that's one rifle at least recovered from Hoochie. And Chopper trying to get into position in time. Long range against Terry. That's not going to work out. So a bit of a shame, actually. They could have got the ult from main and saved an AK and an AWP. Or even just try to retake with it. So a bit too much haste there for Chopper, I think.
Oh, Hoochie 1v2. He's got that AK. Nearly gets the spray. That's unreal. Unfortunately, though, Tarek able to dance back to safety. Even goes for the swap there, Tarek. There was a chance for Hoochie to find that kill on Tarek. You could see it, the animation of him bringing his AK back. That's where it's like you talk to a lot of pros and they're just like, 1v2, it's always worth going, right? But at the same time, I guess because JR had the money to buy the op, it wasn't really necessary to go and run and save Mixwell's op.
Yeah, I suppose it's there's some logic to that. They have expended their whole bank, and Optic still don't have that much money, except for Naf, who for some reason has 8,300 in the bank. I don't even know how that's possible, but he does. And the scoreline is 4-3 here. Slightly favoring Vega Squadron still, but you have to think that Optic they're feeling pretty comfortable right now. They did lose more rifles last round than they really should have, but we'll just forget about that.
It feels like they're starting to hit their stride. I do like Chopper going for the aggression there in upper halls. Risky business. He nearly ran right into a bullet, but just manages to back out. Put a little bit of a challenge on Optic. But now Optic have got Brown Hall's control, and so that opens up that B site, and we see that bomb. Starting to think about it a little bit here, perhaps.
And just waiting, and I think because they've been pushed a couple of times, Optic, especially down towards Ivy, but as you said, also the peaks into brown holes over by B, they should be playing the early rounds like this. There's no reason to lose the entry or lose the first frag just because you were sort of lingering around and not really paying attention. So their default right now, I think, is just based on the fact that Vega Squadron have been a bit aggressive early on, so now they just want to make sure they don't get caught by any of that stuff.
Follow-up flash. Mixwell looking to see if he can find anybody at all, but that's just not the case. Shot whiffed by JR. He had the chance there to ruin Mixwell's day. Mixwell might still happen. Somehow he still gets out alive. 52 HP, and now the push onto B. Defense is still standing strong, however, Chopper picks up one, not going to get a second. Hayes is there to trade. And a 4-on-4 now with the bomb just about to get planted.
Chopper having too many angles to cover. I'm not sure why he was looking at the smoke and the bomb site itself. That's just not necessarily a good idea. 3-on-3 goes for the spray, and Hayes, he will only get the one kill, but it looked like it could have been transferred into a double. They've got the bomb down, but Optic Gaming, they're stuck on the bomb side, and we just hate seeing that. They've got to get a little bit further back, otherwise they could get picked off by any. Just one grenade here could make the difference. Headshot by Mir. Now it's a one-on-one. Jumps up onto the sidewalk and still takes down Mixwell. Doesn't have a defuse kit, though.
Oh, buddy.
Oh, this could get very strange. I think he just might have it, but
nah. Look, like it's like bugging out, exactly. I think when it's a cool idea, but when the timer starts bugging out, it was staying at 10.
Yeah.
Might give it away that unfortunately it's a lost cause.
That's so rough. That's incredibly rough, because that was... Now the tables have really turned, Optic Gaming aren't happy that they're going to lose every single player in that round, but Vega Squadron don't have any money. This is... Yeah, this is a big turnaround for Optic. Four rounds in a row here for the American side. For the mainly American side.
Yeah, there's... we got Mixwell.
We can't just turn him, can we?
Oh, Chopper. Nicely done by Naf to start things off, the opening pick. But once again, this is a round of eco coming in here for Vega. And it's definitely, you can just feel that Optic are starting to hit their stride here. Pressure is mounting on Vega. This does feel a bit like a home map mirror with the 2 shots. Not going to find the 1 dig, though. That would have been big. But still making it just a little bit more expensive here for Optic.
This is a nice quality in the Optic team. This is actually what I thought they wouldn't be able to do. I mean, I think even the leading into Rush, where he was trying his best not to say it, but basically he was saying, we suck. Like, that was the message, And you could tell, you could look at his body language. He was like, we're just not playing very well. You know, like, I don't know what to say. We're not a good team right now. And I mean, at least that's super honest. And he actually has been very honest on social media as well. He's like, especially personally saying, like, I personally am not just playing well, you know. If that's your mentality and you start out by losing 4 rounds, that's where my fear would be. That crushes the team, you know. But they're showing differently, so that's really cool, and I love seeing that.
Oh boy, Mir, that was a risky peek and a nice boost there for Mixwell, but not able to capitalize. Lucky break here for Vega, because that was definitely a chance for Mixwell to bring it back to a 4-on-4 and an advantageous position for his team. Instead, now they know that somebody's lit around here somewhere.
Ooh.
Hey, what? Ah, it doesn't do much.
How, though? It was on their feet. It's not bad, but still, it could have been much better. Kashanda's gone down. It seems like he's having a bit of a tough game right now. Not having too much luck, and now that's going to open up the A yard here. Hutchie dropping the bomb, though, is a bit of a game changer. JR goes down. Hutchie next in line. Optic really not too concerned about losing players. Like, every time they run into an obstacle, they all slow it down, and then they sort of focused on the next obstacle. Is really cool. Mixwell gonna stand in the Molotov for a minute there, and actually, sorry, that was Rush getting the kill. And ultimately, Mir in a 1-on-3. Maybe if he could hide on here, just defuse. No, that never happens anymore.
No, it's exactly. Now it's actually gonna be the save from him. Main thing, you know, you have to wonder right now, because you're right, Kashanda, he's pretty much died every time. He's got 4 kills so far in 10 rounds. So, I mean, it almost feels like Optic are like, right, well, if we hit E-Box, that's where Kashanda keeps playing. If we just keep getting that kill, well, then we're good. Because after that, they seem to be able to win the duels and just keep trading effectively. Hutchie put up a fight from the bomb site, but after that, it was just a downhill struggle for Vega. Optic just winning all the fights after that. So, I mean, it's not to put Kashanda on the spot, maybe a little bit, but he kind of needs to step up, because if he is going to play aggressive E-Box like that, he needs to at least be trading 1-for-1, right? Just stumbling Optic a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, it is a really cool position, because you can, if you navigate it well enough, you can actually make sure you're only ever exposed to either Pop Dog or main, and you can sort of swap back between them. And it's really great, especially if you have teammates that are willing to throw flashbangs for you behind, then it's such a functional position. But yeah, you're right, it hasn't really been working out in his favor at the moment. And now Vega Squadron, from having, you know, a really good first start, then now they've gone into that terrible spiral where they don't have the money, they can't really buy everything they want, they keep saving a little bit, and then, you know, it isn't looking too good.
Well, Mir has got that M4 this time at least. We'll see if he can make something happen. But it is going to be Chopper once again going aggressive, and Mir backing him up. Chopper bites the bullet, sacrifices himself, but Mir converts that into 2 kills. And a man advantage now for Vega Squadron.
Definitely does not come in peace at all.
No, oh. What a shot.
Mixwell barely got a chance to see who was out there. Russian Haze wondering what went wrong. JR trying for more 1-deeks. Rush, quite a wide peak for him, and actually they're going to bring it back to a 2-on-2, so Vega Squadron just getting a bit excited here. When you've got a 2-on-4 like that, you really want to remind your team, listen, just wait for them to put the bomb down.
Yeah, there's no reason to be taking peak fights. But Kashanda's got the CZ, and he's in a pretty decent spot with it. If Rush decides to push the back line like this and go towards that site, up close to the CZ, he could definitely do some work. Main thing here is that Mir is rotated all the way back to B. And wow, nice shot from Kashanda. Drops Haze, that's a bomb down, decides to go up and Rush. He has no idea, however, Kashanda, that Rush is this close to him.
Oh, he's going to find him, isn't he? The spray he almost goes through the model. That looked very strange. Now, Mir currently with a double kill. Rush going to go for the bomb plant, and he will be able to get it home, so this is a really big round. If Vega Squadron win this, then it's off of just saving the M4 and some really nice play early on. Getting shot in the back, and they will be able to do it. Triple kill from here. A very good job on his part indeed, and that's a sort of a big win here for Vega Squadron. If they don't win this round, I mean, that first half was going to be terrible anyway. So now at least they have a chance to turn it.
Yeah, now, and well, they need to figure out okay, saving the rifle. Yes, that worked, Mir. Thank you. Like, how do we actually start winning some fights when we have the rifles, when we have the full buy going? Because it seems like they're doing well when they have the pistols, and it's never really like just a coast win of the round for Optic when they do. But right now, Vega, they need to just get the lockdown here, win the remaining 4 rounds in this first half. If you can finish at 9-6 CT side on train, you're feeling pretty good at this point. If Optic have got 6, like, just get that at least.
That would be a big comeback. Chopper off to a good start, getting the headshot on Tarek, and another one on Mixwell. Really great positional work from him, but now they're overextending a bit, and Rush will land a really long-range shot with that AK-47. JR back here trying to get the kill on Hazed, who's faking the bomb, in fact. He wants to try and win this round, and that's really a great mind game. Hazed, not always the flashiest player, but that's definitely an intelligent round coming out of him now. JR has seen it coming, though. They got so much time. He's going to miss the flick, and the Molotov blocking his way. He's still going to get the kill on Naf. Bomb is being planted in the other side. Oh, he's faking it again, Hazed. Going for the double mind game. What a genius.
It's like sick play, but all I can focus on at that point is poor Chopper.
Yes.
Where is his teammate watching upper? How does he die? And from a deep angle as well, that means that somebody had to be out on upper, not peeking, you know, just out on upper. And so he's got to be wondering, where is my team? Where's my guy connector? Where's my guy holding upper, watching my back? They win that round if somebody is just there watching his back. Tough break, tough break. And so the reset comes in, and Vega, they're running out of rounds now. 5-7, and they decide to go for the force buy here. Kashander can afford the M4. UMPs again. And let's see, Vega, it's all or nothing now. The timing, though.
Yeah, that's so suspicious, though. Mixwell is like, wait a minute. Oh, he sees the jump away, but can't really do anything about it at the moment. Don't jump, JR.
I would love for JR to, like, walk back up, you know? It's like jumps, and then walks back up. Because, look, Mixwell wouldn't have looked at all. That would have been sick. The mind games.
Yeah, that would have been legit, but you're not going to see it this time. 7-5. Optic looking to turn this round, or this half, in fact, entirely in their favor. And the buy for Vega Squadron is just really underwhelming. Now, Molotov going to force them back, though. I mean, that's a sensible choice. It's kind of a shame because they've already used some grenades to get to this point, and now they sort of have to reset and do it all over again.
Another incendiary. I think Optic are kind of surprised at just how good this buy is. But with 45 seconds left, they still have plenty of time. The only thing is 2 players in Pop Dog right now could ruin their day. Point blank headshot, and Huji's going to take down Tarek in the end. Mir not getting lucky through the smoke, but JR will find the kill. And a man advantage now for Vega Squadron.
And this is where Optic have been good in the past couple of rounds. You know, they're a man down, but now they really slow it down. They only have 25 seconds, and Kashander just not really being cool in this situation. Again, it's up to Optic to get the bomb plan, and it seems like Vega Squadron are really forgetting that. They keep fighting, you know, 20 seconds left. Just wait. They have to move on to the side eventually. Now JR. Oh, the timing is so good. Haste can't see a thing because of the E-box, and now it's a one-on-one. Naf is going to be running away. Just no time at all to find the kill or get the bomb. And it will be Vega Squadron to win the round. That's good news, but I'm still concerned about the fact that they keep fighting. They have the man advantage. The bomb isn't down. Optic, they're just waiting, and it works for Optic, you know, every time. Except this time.
Yeah.
But you get the point, Summer, every other time.
Every other time. This is where, you know, Vega, they could fall into that trap. It's like, yeah, we did really well. But that was far too scary. Pistols are force buy with the UMPs, etc. And now more UMPs just so they can afford those nades that really worked for them in the last round. Those incendiaries stumbled Optic. I don't think Optic were expecting that strong a buy coming out of Vega. And so now, once again, Vega, quite good utility. Chopper just going aggressive again. Rush not going to get caught off guard this time. Mir, however, in position to try and trade it back. And he's still alive.
How does he get around that corner? Grenade in hand as they turn. Very dangerous. And Mir picks up a kill. Mixwell, though, going to jump right in his face with the UMP now. Huji and Kashander are left. And they're both on the flank. That's not necessarily great. Let's see if Optic realize fast enough. In fact, that smoke suggests they most definitely do. Now they'll be sort of funneled in towards Opera. And in fact, they're just going to back off and save them for the 15th round. Man, Optic Gaming, honestly, they're playing much better than I thought they would. Maybe I had low expectations coming into it, but they're doing a good job. Plus, in a wonderful turn, they've managed to make the scoreboard 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 on Optic Gaming. I mean, they're not quite in order, but it's close. It's real close to bring up the scoreboard. It's like they've got the whole numerical thing going on.
They got the straight.
Yeah, I like it.
Poker.
I don't know why. That does make me happy though.
I mean, it means that there's like balance, right? You know, things are making sense, Anders. Do you prefer to see that or everybody having the same score?
I think we've only ever seen that like really early on when but it seems like after 10 rounds it's almost impossible to get that. So that would be more rare, wouldn't it? I think that would be more rare.
This is where we start talking about, you know.
Oh, look at that! It's just one person out of order. That's upsetting to my brain. Mixwell gonna open up again. It's Kashenda towards the E-box. Pop Dog getting down, and Hutchie couldn't do a single thing once he got that first kill. He was always gonna be dead. Now they're all trying to retake from Pop Dog, which is just an asinine idea. Never do that.
Choppa. Yeah, he's HE damage galore. And really, this is the 15th round. There's no saving now, boys. But it looks like they want to try and give Mir some time to rotate over towards a main, maybe get that UMP in action. Tarek, so focused on Pop Dog, but only because he's got Mixwell watching his back. Mir will check, and a nice shot from him. But now Tarek knows what's up. He's not going to get caught off guard here by Mir. He should be able to win that fight, but sure enough, he does not. Chopper and Mir now moving in, running out of time. No kit picked up, and Hazed holding the line, point blank. Snuffs Chopper. That's going to set it up for the follow-up kill, but it's just not going to matter. 9-6 finish for Optic Gaming, T-side on Train.
Remarkable turnaround. I mean, Vega Squadron really playing well the first 4 rounds, and you win the pistol, you win the 4th round, you think you've set yourself up really well to win everything, and then they still can't really pull it home. 9-6 is just a great job by Optic Gaming. You know, I wish we would see a team once save in the 15th round, just because the other team would be like, what the f... And then, you know, they'd be so shocked, they'd be like, oh, what are they doing? Like,
I've heard of this happening in the past, but it was like so that their stats look better, right? They don't give up that one kill. How next level would that be, right? You know, you got baiting your teammates, and then you got just playing the scoreboard. You know what? Whoa, whoa, whoa! Mir getting lit. Tarek.
They're not wasting any time in the second half here. Optic Gaming looking really good at the moment, and Mir's been taken down. Naf finding a headshot on Kashanda as well. Now it's not looking good at all. The bomb is miles away. They just wanted to try and infiltrate the bomb site. JR at least gets a kill, and he's picked up a Deagle, channeling Nico at the moment. I love it. Deagle on the T-side pistol. The best thing ever.
Oh, this flank from Hutchie, though, this could be it. This could make all of the difference. Because he's cleared out B. He's going to get his teammates to rotate back over. And unfortunately, there will be no backstab kills for him. Instead, it's going to be very standard fare in which Optic should be feeling comfortable. Chopper making his way out from Alley could be the one turning point here. If he catches Mixwell, this could be big.
Oh, he's definitely going to do that, but now the rest, no. This is such a strange round. They're all over the place. Hutchie playing really close to the ramp, going to try and charge down Tarek, and he lands the headshot. Naf's gone down. Optic, how did they lose this round? They had everything going their way. Chopper going to take down the last player in Hazed, and suddenly it's 7-9. This is the round worth analyzing, right? Because there was so much madness going on. 4 versus 3. But the problem is, you don't know where the bomb is. You've got no idea that Chopper's made his way out of Ivy.
Yeah.
I think they originally saw that Hutchie was in B with the rest, but they had no idea he was pushed out that far. It's just like everything collapsed. There was just a complete lack of information for Optic. Very interesting.
Yeah, just a very, well, I mean, you can see it from Tarek's face. Not a pleasing turn of events at all. Tarek, he's got the scout this round, but you know that Optic were probably thinking, great, we're going to get this pistol on CT side, just get up to double digits real quick here, and have a great advantage going in to close this match. Instead, it's Vega battling back 7-9. 2 AKs, 3 UMPs. I like it. Not a Galil in sight. That's the way it should be done. And well, we'll see. It's looking like a clean execute onto the A site here. Something that Vega Squadron know and have pracked.
Hutchie, he's got an interesting angle here, and he's being allowed to just snipe at them. Long range. Chopper's landed a headshot too. This is great. They're getting to use the rifles at the range they want, and it doesn't seem like Optic are having that much of a chance to really refrag it. Although, as I say that, Rush did get a kill on Mir, who kept fighting with very low ammo, and suddenly it's a 2-on-2. So that's confusing for Vega Squadron, because they actually had that round locked down. They did the opposite of what Optic were doing when they were on the T side. When things came a bit rough, they just kept pushing and pushing and pushing, and that allowed Optic to get a couple more frags than they should have.
Worst part is, okay, good. Chopper using that AK as bait. He will get the last 2 kills, but that's what I was curious about. They're not going to be able to make it over here to save that second AK, so sadly, that was a bit more expensive. Sacking UMPs, fine, whatever. But the fact that they lost one of their AKs, that's just a little bit frustrating. But I do like that Chopper hung around, just waiting. It's like bait on a hook.
Man, look, if we bring up the scoreboard, this is... I don't want to sort of blame it all on Kashanda, but you have to hope that he's playing better in the second half. He's got 5 kills overall in this game, and everybody else in the whole server is doing way better right now. I mean, it happens individually that sometimes players just have a rough time, but let's see if the change of halves is going to make a difference, because if he can start to step it up, actually, Vega Squadron can really be competitive in the second half. Optic obviously don't have rifles yet on the CT side, so we'll see how that works out. When they get him, Tarek gets a kill. And JR's taking a bit of damage here.
Yeah, he is. They are taking a lot of damage here. This is just a bit scary. There will be the flank once again from Mir. Down to 23 HP, though. Nice shots from Rush. And that sets it up for Mixwell, exactly, to find the headshot on Mir and continue to make this more and more expensive for Vega Squadron. JR, you better go and find one of those AKs and save it. Pass on to your teammate here. Oh, boy. Yep, sure enough, JR found one. Did the Chop find another? The Chop found a UMP. All right.
The Chop. I like it. Chopper is such a... I don't know. There's something intrinsically funny about that name to me. I can't exactly explain why, but it does make me smile.
Doesn't it remind you of Clamps from Futurama?
I've never watched Futurama.
No?
No.
The Clamps.
I wish I did. I know everyone says always you should do that, but I don't know why.
It kind of reminds me of him.
The only sort of cartoons like that I've ever got into are like The Simpsons and Rick and Morty. I think those are the only 2, right? Like even Family Guy and the rest just passes me by. But I've upset a lot of people, I'm sure, right now. So I'll just be quiet.
It's like you can't really. There's just landmines all over the place there, man. You know.
Yeah.
You say, oh, I don't like this one, but I like this one. You're gonna be pissing off somebody, right? So.
Yeah.
Just accept, Anders. Accept that you like what you like.
I do my best. I feel no shame at all, in fact. 9-9, and we're moving into the 19th round here. The first time that Optic have rifles in the second half, and exciting to see how they're going to do a self-made flashbang for Haji.
Fantastic.
I'm not exactly sure what the plan was, but I'm sure it wasn't that. Like, that much I can guarantee you, Sumler. That wasn't the plan.
He was pretty quick to get back up on that ladder, too, I gotta say. Full blind. He might have made it out, but not today, Rush says. Not today. Mixwell. Under just a little bit of pressure here, but the bomb is kind of peaking on lower ramps, so this could get interesting. JR, he has that Molotov that's going to force him to change up positions. Mixwell now has to rotate a little bit, get up on that bomb train. And in the meantime, Mir once again has found the weakness in the Optic defense here, getting out into alley. Again, a second headshot, and he could get a third. He knows where Rush is playing from now. Not going to find it, though. Mixwell is there to save the day. But Chopper, this is just total and utter annihilation. Vega.
He's playing such a good game here. He's got 22 kills, and he wasn't hot fire right from the beginning of this game. It took him a little bit to really get into it, but he's been stepping it up. Naf has got 1 kill, but down to 16 health, and no defuse kit means it's better to just wave goodbye to this round. And 10 for Vega Squadron, though.
This is where it gets really fun, though, Anders, right? Because now Optic, they have to realize we keep screwing up here at Alley. He keeps late lurking right into Alley. That's the third time now that he's been able to just sneak up on us and start spraying for free. So Optic are going to have to take that into account, and that could set up a play here for Vega. Or if you want to go deep, on this, they could actually try and just hit somewhere else on the site, because they might be thinking Optic are going to have to keep somebody over at Alley now, minding that, babysitting that spot on the map.
This kind of a play. Why is this being allowed for? There's 5 people alive for Optic Gaming in this situation, and none of them are holding Ivy.
But you saw the rotation. There were 3 guys over towards B. So Hayes, they're probably thinking this is going to be B because of those nades. There was a good fake from Vega.
Yeah, but I find it to be unacceptable still. I'm not happy about it. Well, we do have the benefit of hindsight, which is really the only way we can make ourselves sound smart, I feel like. But still, I'll take full advantage of that and say that that was a mistake. Mixwell is going to be hiding there with the P250, and maybe he could surprise someone. He certainly's heard the steps from Kashander on the other side. Mir is right underneath him. Easy kill for Mixwell. He'll take that every day of the week. Can he even get the rifle? He will be able to pick it up. He doesn't have any armor, though, so still should be a bit difficult. He's done some damage. He's going to keep fighting here, the Spanish player. Out of control, but ultimately will be shut down by JR, which is what Vega Squadron should be able to do here. Tarek down as well. JR's playing well with the AWP. I like it.
Yeah, he's got a style that's interesting to watch as well, because he's got some great flick speed going there. Or he was going for those peaks in brown halls, and he seemed to be able to just boom, like zero in instantly. And so he seems like a very quick opper, not so much the kind of opper who's just going to sit and hold an angle, but one who can actually get out there and be a bit dynamic with that AWP. And that's going to broaden your playbook, that's for sure, if you have somebody like that.
A description that fits Mixwell pretty well. And he's got one now too, so it could be an all versus all battle. Chopper, I think he had the spawn for it, but isn't going to get the frag. Ends up going down
Did
instead.
we just curse him? Is that what happened?
Maybe. No, he must have just had the forward spawn. Yeah, they must have just swapped because of the spawn position, I guess. Makes sense. But Rush is the one to pick up the frag. Good time for Optic Gaming to start coming alive in the second half. I feel like it's been a bit rough for them. In fact, they've lost 5 rounds in a row. So that's, I mean, not quite. They lost 4 in a row in the beginning on the other half. That's a really rough way to get both halves started. Just losing consecutive rounds, your economy's broken, and yeah, especially on the CT side, you don't want to do that. Now, what's the play here for Vega? They've got the bomb over by B. That's a pretty big giveaway, but are they going to try and really sandwich? Would they have to sandwich like CT spawn and B? They have to win this fight down at Ivy first anyway. This is a pretty long shot, I would say. But
there you go.
What an opening. Smoke comes out, counter smoke comes out, and they're going to push it. Mixwell, you can hear the steps behind him, so he should realize that something is up. But are they going to realize it's a B push? Once again, it doesn't seem like it. Naf is falling back. Tarek is running right in. He's going to get the one. He gets the double spray down. And that should be the cancellation of the round. But if he goes down, I don't know what happens.
That's going to be big. But we do have the bomb plant and sufficient money to buy in the next round here for Vega Squadron. Now it's a matter of making it as expensive as possible for Optic Gaming. Hudgy is in position. They have no idea that he's up close. Oh, that could have been big. Of course, he has no way of knowing that they were not looking his way, that he could have gotten perhaps 2 kills for free. Instead, he gets nothing, and 4 players survive for Optic. That's a huge win for Optic. Their money definitely was not solid, and now keeping 4 players alive, 2 ops as well, that will give them just a little bit of breathing room here.
Solid round from Tarek, picking up a triple kill.
Dude, we almost have it. Look at that. 15, 15, 15, yeah. 14, 13. We're getting there, Anders.
So, does the math work out? No, it can't really, can it? That's a shame. I was wondering if they could, if Naf got 2 kills, he'd be at 15, then 1 for Mixwell. But then you still need the other 3 kills or 2 kills to go somewhere. So we can't have the even out this round, even if we tried.
You're kind of feeling it for Kashander at this point, though. 6 kills so far this game. That's brutal. And in spite of that, his team is doing really well. So I think at that point, actually, it adds even more stress because you know I am the weak link right now. If I just step it up, we win the game, you know. Like, that's a lot of pressure on your shoulders. And Vega Squadron definitely are not one of the favorites to qualify in this one. So if they can beat a team like Optic on day 2, that goes a really long way to go in the right direction here. Well, you're talking about 2 teams that are 0-1 right now. Yeah. Just to remind you all, it's 3 wins, you're through. 3 losses, you're going home. You do not want to be in the 0-2 hot seat going into day 3. Oh, Mixwell has gone down already. That was JR opening up with the AWP. That seems to be a big tool right now for them to play with. Some counter flashes are coming out, but Chopper's deep in the bomb side. That's so dangerous if we let go of this part of the map if you're on the Optic side right now. More counter flashes are coming in. The full rotation has happened. All of Optic are here. JR lands a second AWP shot. 40 seconds on the clock. Haji taking down Rush and climbing up the stairs ever so slowly is Hazed. He's got the angle and he's got the kill on Haji. That's smart play again from Hazed, but he can't get the shot on Kashander and leaves Naf fly alone. This is all on Naf now. Smoke goes down though, and they are planning safe. And unfortunately for him, he has no idea that Kashander was waiting around the corner for him. 2 kills for Kashander in this incredibly important round here for Vega. Resetting Optic Gaming, putting them back to square one. That was the first round that Optic managed to pick up, and they get reset immediately after it. So we're 12-10 now. And there you go. I mean, talk about, it's all about the impact of your frags. And if you are able to pick up a couple of key ones here, Kashander, it's like, good.
Yeah.
Get a bit of that confidence back.
Yeah, absolutely important. And personally, I always try and look for this in players that I don't know too much about, whether or not they can come back. There definitely are players that, if they stumble, they fall and they don't get back up. Then they're just out of it for a full game. Maybe sometimes they come back on map 2 or something, but it's kind of a shame to give a whole map away just because you were frustrated and mentally collapsed, right? So it's interesting to see if players have that ability, and some do, some don't. Hayes went down already. He tried to go for a bit of a risk in A-main, and I think that's a reasonable choice. Just didn't work out, but it's not a bad idea.
Mir's just like, wait, they actually rotated somebody back here to watch Ali? What is this? Oh, no.
So much trouble with Tarek. I'm sorry I shouldn't be laughing. That was obviously a serious matter, but I wish we could see that in third person, because he was just fully panicked. God, I've got the choice between standing in the fire or trying to fight while on the stairwell, or while on the ladder, in fact. It's not a good idea. Either is bad.
This is big, though, Anders. Because now Optic, they spend all of their money this round. No AWP for Mixwell or NAF. Just rifles and a full buy for Vega. Vega have got a real chance. This is it. They need to keep it together, just lock it down. They could be getting into that 1-1 bracket.
Really rough for Optic Gaming. They've got a very common setup, which I can't really argue against. But I'm worried about the lack of grenades that they have on that CT side here. It's really important on train. First of all, you obviously want to buy time, but actually on train, it's even more important because you're probably not going to be able to defuse the bomb unless you have a smoke saved. And so if you don't have too many grenades to begin with, it pretty drastically decreases the chance that you'll have one in the last seconds of the round, which is where you really need it. And right now they have 2 smokes left and 1 Molotov, and Mixwell has currently got, that's the Mixwell smoke out. So now it's just pretty much NAF that has to save it. This is really rough for Optic. If it comes to a defuse situation, that could get ugly.
Oh, this is the window of timing, though. 4 players on A. Vega have done a great job so far of selling this. And in the meantime, Kashander ready to lead the way down to the B site. They spot NAF as well. A little bit of information gained. He is roasting. And where do they go? Are they overthinking things here, Vega? They want to take it back towards A, and this could be big.
Well, they trade effectively out there, and Kashander's still on the bomb side. He's managed to sneak his way in. Not really realizing that NAF was right behind him. I think he was hoping the smoke was going to cover him, but it's still a 3-on-3. Hayes going for the kill, but the bomb will have gone down. And now, wouldn't you know it, they've got no more smokes left, and the kit is also gone. That was carried by Tarek. I don't know where it is right now on the ground, but they need to find it, and they need to get this kill quick. Chopper going to get one, and Mixwell, how is he going to force them out? Normally, that's where you need a smoke. You put it on the bomb, and then they have to peek. He's going to pick up the AWP and make a run for it, and that's a perfectly sensible decision. 14-10 here. Vega Squadron really doing a fine job, and large part of it is due to, well, actually pretty much all of them. Kashander's had a rough game, like we said, but everyone else is doing really well. Mir and Chopper are leading the board, but they're not running away with it anymore like they were earlier.
Oh boy, they're not going to be able to catch him in time, are they? Mir! No way!
He lives.
Oh, props to production. Thank you for keeping us in the game long enough to see.
That could have been very disappointing, couldn't it?
Oh, man, 12 HP. That would have been a huge kill. Because look at this. Well, you guys can't see it right now, sadly, but it's like 2,700. 3,800 is the most they have on Optic right now. If not, it's floating around $2,700.
Yeah.
And so saving an op, this could be big, especially in Mixwell's hands.
Yeah, it's true, but it's so much more difficult for someone like Mixwell. I think he wants to do a lot of his work on T side, all right? Because that's where he has way more room to be the one initiating the fights, and he's very good at it with the AWP. there are a lot of AWPers that have a huge drop-off when they go to the CT side if they have that style. Some notable exceptions, I think, are people like Fallen, who will take really big risks when on the CT side and go for really sort of extreme plays with the AWP. But he's so good that it works, and I think I want Mixwell to channel that right now. I'd love it if Mixwell went really aggressive with the AWP here, just try and fight them early on. We can tell on the minimap he's not doing that. He's actually staying pretty far back at Ivy, but I would have preferred for him to run Ivy and just take the fight with them.
It's the thing is, like, it's been late lurks towards Ali right now for Ivy, right, for Vega. Mir, he'll head out there, but it'll be later in the round. It's not exactly something that happens early on. Mixwell right now is just hoping that there's a change of pace. Tarek is in Pop Dog, and he's definitely hearing the steps. Dodges the nade. Well, not quite. 15 damage taken.
Yeah, it's not that much, but could be enough. Again, that chip nade damage, when you get into a spray fight with someone, it can easily make the difference. Especially, I mean, I guess it's a bit less significant because he's playing against the AK. But if you're on the T side and you get the nade damage on the Ts, then suddenly that M4 is a lot more powerful because you get into that. Otherwise, you get that, 3 and what is it, 84 or whatever it is. Dude, situation.
Mixwell has not moved or looked anywhere else than Ali this entire time. He just wants Mir to come over here, get shot in the face so that they can actually go on to win this round. Sadly for them, Vega, if they go B right now, this is a brilliant play.
Oh man, Naf is going to be in so much trouble. UMP and Flashbang, he's got Rush trying to help him out. They need a really strong early kill here on Optic side or they're going to get overrun. Flashbang is in and oh no, Naf! He needed that kill. Oh, the weapon just not quite up for it, I think. Hachi almost goes down. JR finds a kill on Mixwell. He's winning that AWP fight quite a bit now. It's a good shot from Rush, but I'm not sure if it's good enough. And Mir coming in with a quick double kill, and that's going to be it. 15-10, Vega Squadron pushing it to match point here. I've got to say, Mir, again, 28 kills.
Yeah. You can be at Ali. You can be over in B. Doesn't matter. Man's going to wreck house.
It's just everywhere, isn't he?
He brings peace, Anders.
In his own way. Is it in his own way?
Because it's definitely peaceful after he's gone.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's nobody left that can cause any kind of a trouble. So I guess that's one way of looking at it, surely.
Dude, this is well now. I mean, it's a Hail Mary. It's all or nothing for Optic. They need 5 rounds in a row to keep their hopes alive here. Again, the nade, and this time Tarek gets tagged down to 60.
Ouch.
Yeah, that's painful, man. He's gonna need an Advil or something.
Yeah. Sure, that would help like a little bit. Just a little bit. See, Scout in the hands of Naf. Almost no grenades again. Vega Squadron just seem exceptionally well prepared to play this train map. I've got to say I'm really impressed. It looked like Optic had done more than enough in the first half. They got 9 rounds on the T side. That's so good. And now they're just 1 round away from winning regardless. Counter smokes are coming up here from Optic Gaming, trying to buy some time. Oh, and Chopper pushing through the smoke. What? Not seeing Tarek quick enough, and he goes down, but Hachi comes in with a quick double kill and nearly making it a triple that. Tapping away towards Hayes. A bit of a failed smoke there, but Hachi! What in God's name is happening?
Okay, guys, you got 45 seconds. Calm down, take a breath. There we go. Mixwell's the last man alive, and Vega, this would be a monstrous win for them, and they will pull it off in the end. 16-10, a win over Optic Gaming. This has not been a morning for North America. Liquid and Optic, rather, both of them losing. One to Penta, one to Vega.
Yeah. Really, really interesting game. I think we're learning so much. I love these qualifier games. I think this is where this is sort of the heart of Counter-Strike right now. You really get to see all these players that you don't normally get to see. It's super interesting. Haji with the quad kill in that last round, just point that out. Very impressive stuff from him. Very impressive overall for Vega Squadron. And that's in spite of the fact that Optic, they bounced right back. They lost 4 rounds in a row. And then they came back and made it 9-6 in their favor anyway on the T side. And then they still got shut down. I'm super impressed.
Exactly. And I was wondering if that was going to happen again, right? Okay, maybe, Optic, that was the whole thing. You ended 9-6. You have some room for error going into the second half. They didn't lose the pistol, even though it looked like they would have. They looked like they had everything going for them to get a strong start in the second half. And still, this time around, they just weren't able to actually get that CT defense going, that lockdown happening.
And imagine if Kashenda hadn't had that much of a rough game, if he'd been just 20% better or something. You know, it could have been a very different game.
It could have been devastating in the first half. We could have seen a totally different picture. But you have to give it to Kashander. He did have a couple of rounds where he did get some solid kills and made the difference for his team. Mid-tower
would work out for sure. Now, Moses has had a rough morning as well. You know, we all know that he's a strong supporter of American Counter-Strike. So I look forward to hearing his analysis. We'll throw it over to Paul.
Yeah. Do you want a moment of silence?
No. Sorry.
The body's been identified.
Anders is a little bit mean. The guy just wins 16-10, and he's like, "Oh, just imagine if Kashander had played better." It's like, what a dick! He just won the match. Give the guy a break.
Yeah, I mean, where do we start with this one? Well, I mean, what a game, first off. Great to watch. Fun for us, at least, in terms of a neutral point of view. Great start from Vega at the start. You start go, okay, well, that's good. They've started the same way as they did yesterday. And then they kind of throw it away again. And you think, well, 9 rounds on the T side. This should be Optic's game. And they lose 10-1.
Yeah, that was a bit brutal,
on the CT side.
That was a bit brutal. Shout out to Penta for the assist here, because you could tell that that really just shook the confidence of Optic, especially towards that inner bomb site. Some of those early executes that that Vega did, it was like you could see the lean from Optic towards it. Like that
we
was
talked about it, didn't we? Before, that was like they can't possibly get away with that.
That was like the weak knee, right? And Vega just abused that. And I mean, a lot of the T-sided rounds were just won by Mir. It was great. It was great mind games that they had, because they didn't actually execute onto the B bomb site all the time the way that Penta did. But what they did is just apply enough pressure to get attention taken off Ali, and then Mir, that's when he would pounce, and that's where he would get his kills. Open up the outer bomb site. They would rotate back, and from there, if you're Optic, you're like, all right, our inner bomb site's weak. We know that from yesterday against Penta. Oh, we also can't contain Ali now because Mir's just destroying us out here. So how the hell do you defend the map if you're losing the two extremities like that? Great job by Vega. It was exactly as I said. I mean, they have the skill to hang into these matches, and they did. They kept it close the whole way down, and I think it was 11-10. They win that one round right after Optic had won and do a double op setup, and they get that economic reset right at that late stage in the game, and that's just so tough for Optic to try and come back from when they don't have the money in the last 4 rounds of the half, or the game, excuse me.
I was talking about a snowball effect. I guess it started yesterday against Penta already, and it just kept on growing. Like you were saying, just over-rotating, just giving way too much room for these individuals to be playing, because again, it wasn't like extremely well honed from Vega either, but this time around they were hitting their shots. They managed to make situations advantageous for themselves, having the numbers on their side, and yeah, just trying to run away with it. On the other hand, on the Optic side of things, obviously you had a rough start, and then you really start playing well, grind rounds, and they were actually making sense, a lot of them, taking over parts of the map very well, utilizing the double mullet down on the ladder, taking a 5-on-4 a lot of the times, and then just ambushing the bomb center from multiple angles to take it over. And then you're looking at half 9-6, this is looking great, and then just falls apart.
Why did it fall apart? Was it more to do with how Vega played well, or was it the mistakes from Optic?
It was more, I feel like it was more about Optic doing the mistakes of over-rotating, and like Jason was saying, they were not comfortable with the inner bomb side, not holding well in the previous time around, which caused over-rotating. And there was a point in time where you just need to take a pause and realize that, okay, boys, we can't think of that. You know, there needs to be measures if we lose that bomb side. Make sure that at least we're in even numbers once we're going for a retake and inner bomb side, and we can make it happen instead of over-rotating and letting our other parts of the map open.
I think on like a more general level with Optic, it just feels like their confidence is gone. Like they've just spent so long kind of in this free fall, bad results, nothing impressive going on, and for a team that started the year out with so much promise, I think this is a little bit of a shock for the players. I mean, you can see it in interviews they give. Rush, even in the one that we saw just before this, just saying, well, he had the tweet where he said, "I'm not playing good individually," and then in that video he said, "We're not playing good as a team." Mixwell has similar things. I mean, Mixwell has this weird identity crisis where he's like the opera of this team, but he hates opping. I mean, there's a lot of things that are very dysfunctional within the squad at the moment, which is kind of scary for them moving forward, because they were like the best team in North America at the end of last year.
Let's not take anything away from Vega, though, because they've played a good game.
Yeah.
We'll check the MVP right now, which is Mir. 117.9 ADR, 28 for 17 is a monster game from him as well.
120, yeah.
And not just the statistically, but the positioning that he took in that game as well, and destroyed Optic, frankly.
Yeah, the impact he has out of that Ivy position, just opening up that A bomb site, constantly being a nuisance, and the mental game that plays on Optic from there on out. I mean, he had incredible impact, and that's the thing, in that kind of a role, in that kind of a position when you're looking at Ivy, part of the impact you have to have is sometimes not even with kills. Once you have success, the fact that you're always going to be in the back of your opponent's mind, like, is he lurking this round? Is he going to come out this round? How patient do I have to be? When do I rotate? When do I gamble and hope that he just doesn't come out? And that's the extra impact that you have even outside of the kills.
Yeah, and that's because of the early rounds, and if you're able to put that pressure in, that's always going to be there, that issue in your head, that, you know, the possibility of someone coming through, and therefore that kind of makes a leakage on the other parts of the map, obviously, because you're just unconsciously focusing on that part of the map instead of, say, PopDoc or Team Ain.
Yeah, definitely had no answer for him. Nato, I want to ask you about this. In terms of the regions, there was some criticism heading into the minors that, you know, CIS get 2 champions coming out of their region. Maybe it's not the strongest region of all. In fact, maybe it's the weakest of all of the different regions. Does this go some way to helping prove that wrong and saying Vega, you know, they can come to these offline qualifiers, they can compete?
I mean, we've seen it before. They can definitely compete. I don't think that's ever been an issue. I think it's just, is it necessary to have these divided, considering that there's no internet issues? You know, they're capable of playing on against the European teams for the most part. So
because that's the other argument, isn't it?
Yeah.
You merge CIS and Europe, you have one region, it becomes the Europe minor, and you have 4 spots come through. Or in this case, it would be 5 spots. Is that not just too much?
The cool thing is that we get to see teams we don't necessarily see as often, like Vega, for example, you know, showcasing that they have the skills.
And we're trying to make this a global game, right? We're trying to spread it out. We're trying to have more qualifiers in more regions and more areas to give other people international chance. So you kind of both.
Yeah, it is. You know, it's a hard debate.
Yeah, I mean, if I was in charge of it personally, I would combine them into one minor. But at the same time, I mean, the reason why we're seeing these teams here at the moment is because I don't think Vega's victory against Optic proves anything. If they were to qualify for the major, maybe it goes a little bit farther. But also, you have to remember, like, the other CIS teams that we consider are
don't have
consistently legends.
They don't have to qualify because they're already there.
Either in the major or, like, flip side, they got the bottom 8, so they're automatically into the main qualifier. So, whatever.
Yeah. All right, we're going to move on, and that's
all I got.
That's it. Vega have proved people wrong. They were the underdogs as they head into this game. Optic again the favourites, again taken down, again another surprise. So they now have to win 3 straight games if they're going to make it back to another major. Vega, on the other hand, they have a win on the board, and they have 2 to find in the hunt for 3. We're going to move on to our next match very shortly. Of course, headed to a break right now, but next up, you don't want to miss this one. It's a rematch from the Asia Minor Championship Final. This one goes all the way back. It's Renegades versus Tyloo coming next.
Coming up next,